MILBOT, Millennials and Public Media, Building Stronger Ties and Engagement Through the Chatbot. Professor Giovanna Di Marzo, Professor Giovanna Di Marzo, sorry. The floor is yours.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. So it is my pleasure tonight to present you the results of the MILBOT project. So here is a little agenda of what I'm going to present. And I will first start with a description of the teams. And so the interesting thing with this project is that it is an interdisciplinary work made together between the Media Lab, which is an institute of the Faculty of Social Science of the University of Geneva, and the Computer Science Center, also called CUI, from the University of Geneva. And our media partner is the radio and Swiss Radio and Television. And another particularity of this project is that we worked hand in hand with our students. And so on the Media Lab side, we worked with students of the Master of Journalism and Communication. And on the CUI side, we worked with students on the Bachelor of Information Systems and Service Science. So you have the names here. So what about the project? So about the project goals. So our objective is to see how we can build stronger ties with the younger audiences, between the younger audiences and the public media. And the hypothesis is that we could do so with a digital conversational agent, also called chatbot. So the project took place in a little bit more than a year and was organized into 3 phases. And the first phase took place in autumn 2020 and aimed at providing a survey-based interviews of RTS staff and also a state-of-the-art of digital services to connect with younger audiences. The second step of the project took place in spring 2021, and this time was targeting millennials, and it was a questionnaire-based survey towards the millennials and new online practices. And the first step, which was this autumn, 2021, was actually building content for the chatbot and conversations, drafting conversations, and actually designing, implementing, and deploying the chatbot. So what about the innovation here? So here in the innovation part, we leveraged 3 elements. So the first one is that we wanted to have access to actual news, so the latest news. So each time someone comes back to the chatbot, he can get the latest news. So today you will not get the same information as yesterday, for instance. We also wanted to leverage RTS data or the archive that is available, but also have access to external data like Swiss Topo or University of Geneva expert research. So in agreement with our media partner, we agreed to work on the thematic of the climate crisis and more specifically on the melting of the glacier. And we also agreed that the chatbot would look at 4 different things. So it will have an aspect on the news, an aspect on factual and background information on this thematic, and also provide information about what actions can we actually undertake to do something about the crisis, and on a more funny side, a little quiz that you can take and to learn facts. So, from the Media Lab side, the student looked at the content. So they looked at the content along these lines, the news, the information, the actions, and they provided robotized conversations. They also came up with quiz and some visual avatars that the chatbot could look like. And all this in the goal of providing a shared experience. So here you can see some pictures of examples of these conversations. So you have one on factual information, you have another one on background information, and the one on the back is about actions. And here you have some idea about the creativity of our students when they came up with some examples of avatars. So what about Media Lab results and how we can take them further? So the point here is that Media Lab developed conversations templates, developed interaction with the targeted generation, and set up a digital pedagogy to provide the message. And so all these three elements can be transposed to other thematic or can be taken over by other media, for instance. So now if we look at the CUI, let's say more technical side of it, so we used essentially two technologies. So we used RASA. RASA is an open source framework that supports the development of chatbots. And we used RTS APIs to get access to the latest news or to all the archive about the thematic we were interested in. So, more technically, so the chatbot is organized like a tree, and along the 4 lines we said before, so the actions, the news, the information, the actions, and the quiz. And so it is meant to be provided inside a web page, and it looks like you see there. So I have a little video about the chatbot. So first it greets the person, and then you can, for instance, look for the news. So here it looks on real time to the latest news from the RTS, and then in this case was an audio. Then you can ask something else, like for instance a map of melting of the glacier. So these are pictures taken from Swiss Topo information. And then you can ask anything else, like for instance something about the actions you can take. So let's look at concrete action we can take in Switzerland. And here again, it provides some information also, taking information from the RTS archive. And you can also make the quiz. So here we see that the quiz can have different levels. And let's take the simpler one. And then the person is then faced with 4 questions. One on Grindelwald, one on the United Nations. So here we have these 4 questions, but there are more. And so next time you come take the quiz, you may have other questions. And at the end, you get your results, your score. So here, the score says that the person had 2 rights and 2 wrong, and you get the answer for the wrong ones. Now, also to see that there is more information than what we just see here. So if you go back and ask again for the glacier maps, here you get something else, and it's a kind of carousel showing how the glacier melt along the years. And this is also taken from Swiss Topo. And finally, you may ask other things, and for instance, something about the glacier in the world. And here we have glacier in Africa, and some information and the link you can click. Okay, so what about CUI results and how we can go further? So we have a working prototype that is deployed, that has gone preliminary test with an audience. Now it's time for RTS to think about it and to possibly finalize it, or to make a specific version for something else, like the news, or for any IMI partner to get inspiration and take it over. Okay, so before concluding, I just want to say here some feedback we received from our media partner. So Miss Amélie Beguet, who is a project manager and nouveau producer, found that the conversations with the robot were fluid, and Mr. Christoph Schenk, who is a digital coordination manager for the news, is interested in bringing the project forward and to make it a professional tool for the media. And so I will finish by thanking everybody that was involved in this project, in particular the students, because they showed great dedication and professionalism. Thank you.